your a specific clientele, that's going to make you go so much farther. It's going to help you go so much farther in the business than saying, I'm going to cater to all of these different people. Welcome back to another episode of Creating Habits, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about overcoming landlord objections. Now, if this is your first time tuning into Creating Habits, here's what I would like to see you do. I honestly would like to see you subscribe. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers, but we got to get to 100K first. We got to get to 10,000 first. So I need you to help me actually do that by subscribing, by sharing, commenting, all of that. I respond to all of your comments. All right. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, like, all of that good stuff. Now in Creating Habits, this is what it's about. I actually talk about event spaces. I'm talking about how to become a better version of you through your habits. I talk about weight loss. I talk about marriage. I talk about entrepreneurship, relationships, business, of course, all of that. So you're going to learn a whole lot of stuff that's actually going to help you in your personal life and your business life by being here. So welcome to the Creator family. And again, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. So let's jump into the episode. All right. So when it comes to getting your event space, I hear so many people talking about what the landlord wants or what the landlord doesn't want. You're going to encounter a ton of situations where you may have encountered. So if you're just now looking for your space, one of the main things that may be holding you up is this. You may have encountered, like, the landlord is telling you, like, oh, I don't really want, an event space in my building, or I don't really want an event space, in my on my property, or I think you're going to be doing X, Y, and Z. Now, here's the thing. There are specific ways that you got to overcome this. Now, what I like to do is I like to actually use that statement more so against the landlord, because you got to think about it like this. Think about the current time that we're in right now. We're in a situation where it's a lot similar to the pandemic, but everything's open. So what do I mean by that? I mean that with the pandemic, everything was closed, but no one knew what was going to happen with the world. So with us being in a recession, it's a lot like that, but everything is actually open, but we still don't know what's happening in the world. We got all this new AI technology coming out. We got all these new things coming out, and you be sitting, you like, yo, I want to get this event space, but I don't really know because I'm getting a lot of pushback. Pushback from the landlord is normal. It's normal for the landlord to tell you, hey, look, I don't want this going on in my space. Now, what do you need to do to kind of overcome that? You need to, depending on where you are, I know everyone wants to sell, a lot of us want to sell liquor in our spaces. But here's the thing. If you're not the one providing the liquor, it doesn't mean that you can't negotiate that a licensed bartender is on site. So you got to figure out what their objections are. The fastest way that you overcome objections, the fastest way that you overcome any objections by anybody when it comes to this business is actually figuring out why they're objecting. So have you asked the landlord why they said no? Have you asked the real estate agent representing the landlord why they said no? So that's step one. We got to figure out why they say no, why they're saying no. After we know why it's a no, after we know why they told us, hey, look, you can't have your space here. Hey, look, if it's a liquor reason, okay, it's an easy fix. Can you have an event space that doesn't serve liquor and still thrive? Yes. Why? Because you can focus on, I want to say two major industries. You can focus on children events and then you can focus on what's currently now everybody is into, content creation. So you could put little hubs up or content creator setups inside of your location. So now you can lock in content creators, and you can focus on kids events. Now here's the plus and the pro with focusing on kids events. People typically spend more money on their kids. People went literally, some people in the world went literally broke on Christmas for their kids. We like the terminology, the sayings, I do it for the kids, all this stuff like that. Like, people want to make sure that their kids are good, that their kids have a good time, because it's an emotional connection or disconnect that we didn't have. Like, depending on your childhood, if you have kids right now, you may go above and beyond. There's nothing wrong with that for your kids, because maybe you didn't have that. So being able to show up for your kids is a big thing, right? So people are going to book for their kids, and they're going to go over the top. I've seen people in Chicago spend $2,000 on baby parties. I have people in our space personally, $800 on a birthday party for like a 3-year-old. Like, the 3-year-old may remember it, they may not remember it, right? They may remember it, they may not remember it. But those are the two ways that you can actually excel in the space while still having an event space, still hosting events. Because when we think of events, we're putting ourselves in a box. When we're starting out in this business, you may be putting yourself in a box, and that's the reason why it's like you're letting these they're very small objections keep you and hold you back. So one of the things that I actually recommend is that actually what I just said, but also too, if you're just now looking for your space, here's the thing. I'm actually going to host a free 100% free masterclass this Thursday. So depending on when you're watching this Thursday, we're gonna have a masterclass, like 100% free masterclass that's gonna teach you exactly how you get your space, how you fund your space, how you overcome, like, in depth, all the potential objections, everything 100% free to you. So if you're having a lot of trouble, what I want you to do is I want you to click the link down below, register for the class, show up to the class, and just go from there, right? So now here's one of the other things that you got to keep in mind when it comes to your landlord and the landlord's objections with the space. They may be looking at it from the aspect of, think about the city that you're in, or think about the location that you're looking at. Now, if in this community, it's a location that is full of, I want to say, it's not the best neighborhood, and they have this building and it's maybe not in the best neighborhood, or they heard all these other people like kind of just like making the event space name really, really bad. You have to assure them what it is that you're going to actually be doing. So what is your space going to be known for? Anybody that I've helped get an event space, that's one of the first things that we tackle. What are you going to be known for with the business? Like branding. What is the brand about? What are you going to be known for? If you can't put that down into an elevator pitch, I need you to go and do that right now. I need you to write down exactly what you're going to be known for. So then you can actually put that into a sentence, and then you can let the landlord know, or let the real estate agent representing the landlord know, like, hey, look, this is what we're going to be known for. We're not going to be your standard space, right? We're not going to be the standard space. Then after we do that, we submit that. Now, each of these things, there's no guarantee that any of this work. But here's the thing. There's no guarantees anyway. Has this stuff worked? Yes. Did we receive pushback from landlords? Yes. Do people I know that I've helped get event space, do they receive pushback from landlords? Yes. It's natural. It's the same thing. It's the same thing when it's like, if you're letting this pushback stop you, then have you seriously decided that you want to get this business? If you're letting any sort of objection stop you or hold you back, are you committed to getting this business? That's just one landlord. Do you know how many properties that there are in the world? So you're letting one landlord tell you no. One. Just one. Here's the thing. You got to eliminate the idea of how it should be versus what reality is. Reality is, this is a part of the process. You're opening up a business. They may not want, they may not want a restaurant in their business that plays music. They may not want a lounge in their business. It's preference, right? But you have to understand, hey, why not? You got to get comfortable with asking questions. Why don't you want this? And you got to be even more comfortable with the answers that you receive. But then that's how you overcome any objection. Once I know why you're objecting, then I can overcome the objection. So I need to know exactly why you're telling me no. Figure that out. The no could be for open liquor. The no could be because they only think that you're going to do a bunch of parties. The no could be because they're worried about fights breaking out. The no could be because they're worried about you not being able to pay the rent. The no could be from a past bad relationship with a tenant. Here's the thing. You got to be consistent in your efforts of finding your space, but you got to be persistent. Persistence is when you overcome and you continue with the action of being consistent, even when you're met with objections, even when you're met with challenges. A lot of people aren't persistent in their efforts to do a thing, whatever it is. Start an event space business, start a tour business, start an Airbnb business, trade Forex, make 10K a month, start a digital product business, start a business period, whatever it is. A lot of people aren't persistent, and that's exactly why they don't actually do the thing. Now I got to ask you, and I'm asking you and I challenge you, are you or have you been persistent? As soon as you are confronted with a challenge, do you push forward or do you kind of just take a step back? And so what I need you to understand is that in this process, the more persistent you are, the better the chances that you're actually going to get the thing. So when the landlord is confronting you with objections, it's telling you like, no, look, this, I don't want it because of this. Okay, cool. Well, what if we did this? What could we still have this business here? What if we didn't sell alcohol? What if we had a licensed bartender on site? Could we do that? What if we didn't have quote unquote parties, but we had strictly intimate events and affairs? Could that still work? Now, here's the problem though. The problem is that when you change that up, a lot of people believe that you can't thrive only doing intimate events. You may believe that you can't thrive if you don't have, these big parties for people. But in actuality, you can have corporate clients. You can do bridal showers. Having the concept of what you're known for, like your branding, your niche, your a specific clientele, that's going to make you go so much farther. It's going to help you go so much farther in the business than saying I'm going to cater to all of these different people. It's one of the number one things in business is who is your target audience. Once you know your target audience, then you can use the fact that you know your target audience and you can talk to the landlord and say, hey, look, this is my target audience. These are the people that I'm going to target. I'm not targeting people that are going to get drunk and fight. I'm not targeting people that are going to require that we stay open, to 2 a.m. in the morning. Like maybe it's in your hours. I remember when we first opened, the one of the things that the city was asking us, well, how long are you going to be open till? And so we were like, well, I like asking questions. I said, well, what is your recommendation to get approved? They were like, well, maybe 1 a.m. the latest. Okay, so everybody cleared out by 1? Yeah, pretty much. All right, cool. It's done. No, you can't go into this business, anything in your life with a scarcity mindset thinking that if I go this route, if I go right instead of going left, I'm not going to be able to thrive. You have to have a thriving mindset. So a lot of the business is what you believe. So if you don't believe that it's going to work, if you have to change up the verbiage, or if you can't serve alcohol, or if you can't do whatever the case may be, then it's like, if you believe that it's not going to work, then it won't. But if you believe that it will, it will. Like the person that believes and the person that doesn't believe, they're both right. So which person are you going to be? So you know what to do now when the landlord tells you that they don't want an event space for you. You're going to encounter that. It's normal. Don't stress about it. Don't trip on it. All you got to do is figure out why. Why don't you want this? And then you'll be able to overcome the objection. So peace and blessings. That's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And then all the resources down below, including the one-day event space seminar It doesn't cost you anything to join, to actually show up to the seminar. All this is going to cost you is your time. So it is technically not free. It is going to cost you your time. So we're looking at about 1 to 2 hours of a time commitment. But just show up. You show up, you're going to get a ton of information on how to start, how to overcome objections. This is for you even if you already are looking for these spaces. This is even for you if you already got the space. I'm not just going to share how you get the space, but I'm going to share how you actually thrive in the business. So make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And peace and blessings. I will catch you in the next episode.